start. Sleep versus Maru. Dream versus Byung. First versus Jakji. Hiba versus Flash. Innovation versus Hero. Dongnaegu versus Gumiho. Rain versus Songduri. Truth versus Kangho. Bomber versus Super. Yongha versus Zoo. Starts now. WCS Korea Season 3 GSL.
What's up, guys? It's Tasteosis, and we're here for another day of GSL Codas. What's up, brother?
Well, tasteless. Flash is playing today.
That's pretty cool.
Jjakji is playing today.
Hiva's here.
Hiva's here, so is First.
How about that?
One of my favorite groups in the round of 32.
I would say yesterday's games were good, but the players nowhere near as exciting as the guys who got here today.
Yesterday it pales in comparison to today.
Yeah.
This is such an exciting group. There's a lot of upset potential. Hiva's someone who can and has shown us he can kill anybody with his cheese.
Can I just say I can't even listen to what you're saying because your haircut looks so good.
I figured that was the case.
You got those it's like your hair's like got baby owl feathers.
That's how cute I am right now.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I needed a haircut for a very long time.
We've been joking. He didn't get a haircut.
I don't know if this happens to people at home.
He was getting in trouble with the makeup lady downstairs.
Yeah,
like,
every time they're like, you really need a haircut.
Yeah,
I'm like, I know. And then eventually I was coming in saying, I really need a haircut. And they're just like...
And then I didn't really think about it much today until I was looking at you and I was like, what's different? And then I'm like, oh.
You're not... You don't have just this huge fro on your head anymore.
Yeah, anyway, sorry.
I don't know. It's hard to get a haircut sometimes because I have to go 5 subway stops away to get to my hair place, and where everybody knows your name. It's like the cheers of hair salons, and
of course, it's not easy, man.
It's hard to make myself do that sometimes.
I
just want to stay at home and watch VODs and play games, and it gets ahead of me. But I have my hair cut because I wanted to look good for Flash today.
Yeah, well, you better.
This is Judgment Day. Does Flash get through or does he not?
This is true. By the way, if you guys watched the last season that we casted with Hiva, I loved the cheeses.
Hiva's one of my favorite players to watch. He actually has become that for me.
Yeah, he's
more exciting than other players because you know something crazy's coming.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, Hiva views some of his opponents. It says, I can't beat you in maybe a straight-up game, a standard textbook Starcraft 2 game, but I can cheese pretty well.
Yeah, and he certainly does. He's dangerous.
Yeah.
So
let's see what happens with him today. For the overview here, we're going to start out with First against JOGUNSHOP, a Protoss versus Terran, and next we're going to have Hiva against Flash.
And, I would be wrong to not point out the WCS points that are very important in this group. First did well this last season, so he's looking to make a lot more points this season and hopefully make it to BlizzCon. Whereas Flash, you can tell Flash is in a mad scramble to get WCS points. Obviously, he's going to want to do well here, but he's already registered for DreamHack Bucharest and IM New York. So this guy wants to be at BlizzCon. He is going to fly all over and win as many points as he can in the home stretch because this is literally it. There's this season and those 2 events before BlizzCon.
We're getting very close to the final chapter here.
No, these are literally the last 3 spots you can pick up big amounts of WCS points. So Flash is seriously making that move right now. And so we're going to see his absolute best play here today.
I'm stoked, man.
Not that he wouldn't normally, but BlizzCon is so big.
The point is, there's more on the line right now.
Yeah, more than just a regular GSL.
Yeah. By the way, it's so good to be back here doing Codas. We haven't had Codas in a while. I'm so happy to be here doing Codas, back to what we're used to, the setup here, the players in the studio, all that. I love it. Going into this match here, we got First against JOGUNSHOP here. Now JOGUNSHOP, a lot of people actually forget this. He's a Codas champion.
He is a champion, and he fell out for so long after that.
Yeah.
But he's finally back. He's been playing well the whole time, just not quite well enough.
And it's funny because normally when you win a Codas, you become a household name. I feel like with JOGUNSHOP, that did not happen.
Yeah.
I feel like
he came out of nowhere to win that season.
I feel like he's overshadowed by people like Symbol, Bomber.
Yeah, he is. He is. But he's looking to change that here today, and if he can get out of this group, it's going to go a long way towards that, because this man right here, LGIM first, going up against him, so
I love his play style. I love the way he approaches any match.
His PVT late game is perhaps the best in the world.
I think I got to agree with that.
Yeah, once he gets up to a certain number of High Templar and Colossus, you just do not kill him. You can't do it. I would even place him better than Rain in the late game. The thing he's not better than Rain at is getting to the late game.
Well, Rain will take that disadvantage early on. The defender's
He'll get there no matter what.
But he will manage to get that far and probably eke out a win. Now here's JOGUNSHOP. He won at GSL Kodas in a huge upset.
Yeah, well, he just out of kind of nowhere. He was playing like it was Brood War. He had such great multitasking strategy. Yeah. Everything about his play was fantastic that season. Really, one of the best finals we've ever had.
Absolutely one of the best.
But that was TVZ, so.
Going into this, obviously JOGUNSHOP wants to win another Kodas. Mm-hmm. We have almost no players that win multiple Kodases. This is the most prestigious tournament in the world.
Yeah.
And it's great to win it once, but when you get somebody like MC, who's won it so many times.
MVP with his 4 titles and Nesty with his 3. There's not much room to win more than one,
Yeah, no kidding.
MMA and MC both win in multiples. I mean, there's very few people that have won only one. There's more that have won more than one than have won just one.
It's funny because, once you get that far and you're a champion, you've won. Really, the only thing you can do then is try to win yet again another one. Even though winning the Kodas that's basically the pinnacle of a professional gamer's career. That's the dream come true.
I would say that's the pinnacle of humanity.
I think you're right. I don't know why I was underselling this.
No, I mean, I've heard people have reached states of nirvana, and people have, Usain Bolt, apparently he runs faster than any human ever has, but has he won a GSL Kodas? No, he hasn't even come close. He hasn't even gotten into Code A.
The only thing his running skills are good for is getting out of the booth after Flash beats him.
That's right.
So, here are the stats that were collected by our Korean esports journalists. Mm-hmm. As you can see here, first, ranking higher in the majority of these, despite the fact that JOGUNSHOP's won a Kodas before.
Well, First has been playing pretty fantastically lately. I'm a little bit worried about him here today, though, Tasteless, because this guy, I feel like he's one of the players that isn't good at choosing his opening builds. A lot of the times he mixes in really cheesy stuff like DT rushes, blink all-ins, and the like. And when he does that, those are the games you see him lose. When he plays a more standard game, that's when you're going to see him smash Terrans and make them look bad.
Well said.
So,
Whirlwind is our map. This is at this point in time, I think, now our oldest map.
Yeah,
we're still using.
Yeah, it is.
It's been around forever here. I want to say it's been around for over 2 years. Does that sound right?
Maybe.
Am I crazy?
I think maybe a little bit less than that, but it's a long time.
It's been a long time. By the way, yesterday was the GSL's birthday. So, 3 years and an extra day now.
3 years and 1 day, guys.
3 years and 1 day. Going strong. All right, it's time for this match. So get ready for our first game here today in the GSL Kodas. Over here in the upper left, one of the best Protoss players in the world easily. He is
LGIM first.
He's here to win his second Kodas. Will this be the beginning of that journey? He is
My Insanity JAKJI.
I am, actually so excited about today's group, Tasteless. This is
one of our best groups easily.
All 4 of these players are these are 4 of my very favorite players.
Yesterday was probably our worst group, even though it was great games and everything.
You know what?
I think
yesterday was my least favorite group in the round of 32. To be perfectly
it was
frank.
for me personally. So
it's just it's sometimes hard to get excited about some of the more generic players every now and then that haven't done that much.
I like groups. Obviously, everybody wants a group of death. That's just really exciting. But I like when we have maybe one guy that's a champion, 2 guys that are heavy hitters, and then 1 new guy.
Yeah, those are
That's
pretty
fun.
fun. Yeah.
No matter what, the narrative stays interesting. We're gonna have this guy who's a powerhouse. Just keep trucking through. Is this guy we've seen for a while but hasn't won the tournament or won a tournament yet? Is this his moment, or are we going to see an upset and have a dark horse here, an underdog going through this tournament?
I don't know, and I don't care who's going to go through from this group because they're all players I would love to see play more in the round of 16.
Exactly.
The one thing I do want to say is that, personally, I would love to see especially Flash get through because Flash is like, he's really nearing that point where he's just going to start winning a ton of tournaments. He's getting super close, so... that's always going to be something exciting to see, the return of a champion. Just like Jaedong, he's gotten like 4 second places in a row at events. Like WCS,
he's like
couple of DreamHacks,
Stork of
the other WCS
Starcraft too.
Yeah, he's
Stork. By the way,
we call him Jay Kong nowadays.
He's Stork was a Starcraft 1 Protoss who got a lot of second places.
He did break through though. I mean, that's
he did.
And Jaedong will here as well. And you know what, Flash, he hasn't gotten such good results yet, but again, I think he's going to soon. So let's talk about these builds for just a moment.
Sure.
It's the Nexus after Gateway from First.
Yeah.
I really like this on this map. It's definitely a build that he has used before on this map. It's like just a little bit safer than Nexus First. A little bit quicker tech and all that. A little bit slower
Nexus First was hotter a while ago. But I agree. This is safer. It's more well-rounded. Now, for our Terran player, we see he's getting a starport right away on Widowmine, so we're probably going to see some harass coming up here. Now, this is they're in cross spots, so even though this is a droppable map, this is the longest distance you can possibly have to travel.
Yeah.
Pretty much to drop somebody. You generally don't send the medevac at all through the middle here because of the watchtower. So, I mean, it's just a really long distance, and that gives the Protoss a few additional seconds.
It just gives them some more time to try to defend, and that's exactly what First needs. And I'm a little bit scared though because this is like basically how Fantasy opened up on this map against First. First can deal with these early tech drops better than almost any Protoss. Like maybe Rain does it a bit better, but he really knows how to just stomp them down. And with his robotics already started, that's nice, man. That's exactly what he's going to need. All he needs to do is make Stalkers, get an Observer out, and he'll probably be all right. Yeah,
dropping could be a bit of a double-edged sword because let's say that this is shot down and no damage is dealt to any of First's economy. Then he's just basically sent his army and gift-wrapped. Let them get eliminated. And now with this Protoss here with an additional base up and running, he's going to have a massive lead. So we'll see if he's actually going to be equipped to deal with that, if that happens.
Well, right now we actually have 2 Hellions as well as that medevac that does have a single Widowmine. Did he just miss that?
He totally just missed that.
Wow.
Can't believe that. Oh.
But he does have quite a few Stalkers. And there's that Widowmine. Now he's going to want to get out of range. Oh, he might lose a single Stalker. Yeah, he does. Definitely a mistake there by First. And he might actually even lose a second Stalker here. This is working out really well for jjakji. But he does lose the medevac.
Yep, he did lose that medevac. And we're going to have to check the worker kills here. Worker kill count, excuse me.
It's 4 or 5.
5.
Okay, 5
kills here.
5, and he got 2 Stalkers.
But the Terran did lose the Marines, the Widowmine, and the medevac.
Yeah, and
I was actually surprised he sent the medevac back in that attack.
Yeah.
For what reason? I mean, it's got like 2 health.
Yeah, I think he was trying to be a little bit too fancy, perhaps.
Maybe
I think
bait out the Stalkers to go forward.
He's looking at the Stalkers. He should be able to snipe that if it gets too close.
Exactly.
So.
Well, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? He ended up killing a decent amount of probes there. The Hellions did do a little bit of damage, and behind it, jjakji's going for double command center and getting a siege tank, which is really, really nice.
We actually have the Stalkers running up over here, and this bunker's not. Well, is it done? No, it's not going to be done yet.
There it is. Does finish up, but he's going to run by for now, and in fact, he's going to have to run away. But a siege tank coming out, he's going to deal with this easily.
Oh, this is a really bad move here for a Protoss player. This is actually a disaster. This is one of these worlds. Generally, if you just have Stalkers, you probably don't want to run by the bunker unless you are 100% sure you're going to win, because the SCVs are going to swarm you like bees.
It's so true.
Yeah, and then the Stalkers are really only good in really early rushing moments like this when there's zealots there to soak up damage and deal damage to the workers if they get attacked.
And you know what? The build that first used there, that's something that Rain came up with a while ago, where if they do a very tech-heavy harassment to you early on, you just warp in a bunch of stalkers and counterattack. But he was just slightly slow on it. Like, literally, as you're clearing it up, you're supposed to start hitting that front.
Well, it's funny because he should have, if he timed it out right, gotten there probably right before. I mean, I know it was right before the bunker was killed, but a few seconds even before that we're talking about. And then you can just kite the Marines and do damage from there. But in this case, he wasn't quite executed well enough. So instead of running by the bunker, he probably should have just gone back.
Yeah, it was. But, you know, you invest in a lot of stalkers, wanted to try to get that damage. And if the siege tank hadn't come out, he definitely would have done more damage. He also kind of hemmed and hawed at the bunker. So far, it's a pretty decent opening by jjakji, considering he didn't do that much damage against such a big nexus.
Missed micro there by Burst, which we don't normally see. Not able to pull that stalker back because it was getting blocked.
So getting a little bit warmed up, perhaps.
Yep. Twilight Council now on the way over here. Stim is getting close to halfway done, as is Combat Shield. Terran getting +1 attack here. And then we do have the Robotics Bay, Support Bay almost done. So Colossi are going to be in the game. We'll see how quickly the Terran identifies the Colossi are in there, so we can start making Vikings. Because we do have games where occasionally there's just either there are too many Vikings for the Colossi there and they become not useful, or too little Vikings, just a bunch of medevacs, and then the infantry gets melted by the Colossus.
Well, it looks to me like it's probably going to be Blink. Well, not right before I say that. Blink does get started, but Blink Colossus, a very strong choice, very popular in Korea at the moment. Whereas jjakji, he's already landed his third, so he's actually doing a really great job of catching up economically after, you know, his command center was just so much slower than the next. That's something that you have to worry about. But here we go. We have a little drop harassment going on at this third base and doing some okay damage so far.
Yeah, and he's going to pick up and boost out of there. That's exactly what jjakji wants to be doing right now, what he needs to be doing right now, because as long as he keeps the Protoss away from his quick third base, jjakji's going to be able to catch up, as you said.
Yeah. That's completely the case. If he can just keep his macro up, keep some pressure on, but don't overcommit, that's going to be the perfect scenario for him. Whereas with First, he's playing pretty safe. He's adding his gateways with good time. He's getting all of his upgrades, but jjakji is actually about to start getting 2 upgrades at a time. He does have that second eBay, whereas we don't quite see the second forge yet.
Yeah,
from First.
So he's just using the rest of his chrono boost here on all of his upgrades. He'll switch to chrono boosting gates if he thinks he's about to be attacked. We have the Terran. I'm really surprised. Is he actually going to go ahead and drop here?
I think that's maybe trying to draw the units down by showing those units and then go for the drop. But he used the.
Did he pick up in front of the pylon?
Kind of. I don't know that for sure that first saw, but kind of.
Drop over here at the third. Meanwhile, the second drop now happening in the main base here against the Protoss player here. Stimming now running up ahead. Right now, it looks like First a little bit preoccupied, having a hard time driving this out. Whoa, I spoke too soon. Misclick there by jjakji. He loses that medevac.
That was a strong blink right there to get that medevac. But jjakji, a little bit of miscontrol. A little tiny bit of overcommittal there, just slightly. Because that was going very well for him until he lost that medevac.
And like I said earlier at the start of this game, you got to be careful with dropping, because if you're dropping and you're not doing a ton of damage, or you're losing your medevacs, you're actually getting yourself behind.
Yeah.
You're doing your opponent's work for them, basically.
That is the case, Stasis, especially when they're playing with Blink Stalkers. You got to be very careful about that.
Yeah.
But right now, we actually have a very solid 3-base economy for both players, 74 SCVs, 72 probes. Both of them are just kind of teching up into exactly what they want, adding that extra production for jjakji. And soon we have to see, is someone going to go for a big attack, or are we going to see more bases?
Is he going to get the Observer? Did he get the Observer? He did. He guns down the Observer, which puts Protoss in a bad spot here, because Terran already has the factory to spot for the Protoss army movement right now. Oh, excuse me, there's actually a second Observer over the Terran's army. So never mind, he's in okay shape.
You got to keep those Observers all over the place. And he's got really good vision overall. You know, I like looking at the mini-map for actually both players. They have pretty strong vision. Not a whole lot's going to get by, but You know, there is a Warp Prism that is out, so that's going to be really important coming up for first. jjakji, in the meantime, he's about to max, and he hasn't started that 4th command center.
All right, it looks like he's going to pick up a Colossus here, and now moving out with the Warp Prism. Meanwhile, Terran, or did he drop that out? Okay, never mind. This makes a lot more sense. He's going to bring the Zealots down here now and probably try to drop into the main and draw away. Oh, my God.
Well,
this is...
You know what? The thing is, Storm just finished, and he doesn't have Storm yet, but by the time that jjakji gets up here, he's just going to be getting enough energy for Storm.
So, right now, guys, if Terran doesn't win with this attack, this game is
probably not going his way.
Probably going to end with a win. Oh, nicely done here. Also, good Storms over there on that Bio Army. jjakji has not yet made his move to go inside the main, but remember, every second those SCVs stay there with that army, they are not mining, which means the Terran is not getting a proper income. Coming up here for some snipes.
Ooh, that EMP not that good, really.
Only getting 1 sentry here.
Yeah, definitely wants to get more than that. Uh-oh, he's actually overcommitting those Vikings right now.
Oh, really nicely done there with the EMP on the Templars. Now allowing him to attack over here at the 3rd base.
You know what? He's probably going to kill that 3rd base, Tasteless. It's going to be hard to attack up into this area. Getting a lot of the High Templars as well. jjakji with a beautiful attack.
Nice positioning here with the Ghost now. A lot of EMPs now coming down here. By the way, the Nexus not sniped here. Oh my God. Oh my God, those Storms are so unbelievably, incredibly good.
That is why you don't...
That's it, GG. Okay.
You don't walk down into the army into a
Why did he do that? That made no sense.
I was a bit confused. I felt like right there he was supposed to hit the Nexus and run out through the side. I thought for sure that's what I was going to see.
I thought we were going to see exactly that. He gets the Nexus, runs out the side, and sends the workers back. You can see jjakji right now, very disappointed with that last few minutes of that game.
The thing is, he was doing well at first, right? He got rid of a lot of the High Templars. He pushed Protoss back when it was natural, and normally when that happens, when you have a bio ball that big, you can kill the 3rd Nexus and escape through the other side before the Protoss army gets up there.
Exactly. Well, Terran's army has the speed the Protoss army doesn't.
Yeah.
So if you can outmaneuver them early on in an engagement, you can then either bum rush one of their bases, kill it, and escape. Or, you know, there's many different things you can do to pick up, run into the main. But the point is that you can do damage and get out untouched.
Or
just basically untouched.
And the thing is, he lost a decent amount of SCVs and stuff. Maybe he thought he had to win the entire game right there. I think that's the only thing that's popping in my mind. Maybe he thought, well, I have to kill this army because the SCVs, the drop harassment's going on over near my base. His economy is still good. Even if I kill that 3rd Nexus, it's not too bad. That's the only thing I can really come up with for why he ran down into a time warp. But even then, I think it was a wrong choice by jjakji.
Well, we're going to go on to game number 2 now on Polar Night. First, just with solid defense, jjakji trying that timing, didn't work out. Let's see if this game looks different here. I'm Tasteless, with me is Artosis. We're here in Seoul, Korea, bringing you the best esports action of all time here at the GSL Codex. You can tell I'm excited, but the way my